Welcome to Engineering Influence, a podcast from the American Council of Engineering Companies. This week we have our new XCOM orientation. It's when the incoming vice chairs and our chair-elect kind of come in and get an information download on everything ACEC National, not only kind of what the roles and responsibilities are to XCOM, but then everything else that we do, department by department. And it's a 2-day session. And one of the victims of the 2-day session is James Hoffman, incoming vice chair. You are president and CEO of Summer Associates.
Summer Consultants.
Summer Consultants, my apologies. Fellow Penn Stater, so we are. It's very pleased to have you part of the program this week and to come on to the podcast. Tell us a little bit about your journey in ACEC and kind of what led you to become part of the executive committee and National Volunteer Leadership.
Well, absolutely. So my experience has been largely with National, taking part in the Federal Agencies and Procurement Advocacy Committee.
Yes.
So I did that early on, and just participating in that and moving through as the Small Business Subcommittee chair, the vice chair, and then the chair. And then also in parallel had went through the ACC Metropolitan Washington group and taking on the various positions through chair and past chair and whatnot. And
you have also the background, you were an engineer in the U.S. Army, commissioned officer and an Army engineer, which is critically important with the procurement work that's being done with Dan Hilton and the team up here. Looking at all those issues, I mean, we always have, the regular policy issues that come up. We're looking, of course, towards the next infrastructure bill, whatever happens after IIJA. We've got an election year, which is already contentious, and we have all these different issues kind of facing the industry. What are you looking to bring to XCOM? What do you really want to focus in on and kind of leave as your stamp on the committee?
So first of all, I think that ACC is comprised of members, and there are so many, and so my firm is indicative of the smaller size, and so I'm interested first of all in bringing the small firm perspective.
Yeah.
Also looking to bring the assistance perspective or mechanical, electrical, and plumbing engineers, fire protection engineers, to that conversation and whatnot. I think the issues of the day is we take a look at them when we interact with our clients and whatnot. The qualification-based issues, the partnering that's been undertaken with the Corps of Engineers.
Yes.
Reaching out and really rising to the challenge the Corps has brought to us. So really excited about continuing to support that process. So, new to the executive committee as a vice chair.
Yeah.
And for this very first year, actually really interested in being supportive of the chair and collaborating and learning and whatnot and understanding this new stage.
Yes.
Because this is a brand new experience. And there's a lot to be learned, and really to go ahead and advocate for the business of engineering. It's a really exciting opportunity to partake with the very talented folks, the volunteer folks, and then the professional staff that you all are so excellent in all the things that you do, and really put us in a great position to be successful in the marketplace and for the business of engineering.
Well, thank you. You mentioned the playbook with the Army Corps. I think that's a great example because we are right there helping design that playbook for the design services industry and how it interacts with the Corps. I think it's a good example of how the council is positioned in a unique way to be able to not just help influence existing regulatory policy or existing procurement policy, but also to help shape the future of how the federal government works with the industry, whether it's the Corps or whether it's DOD or whoever needs to be doing these projects. And I think it's a good example of why members, regardless of firm size, should be really active in the council because they can lend their voice and actually achieve something at a pretty high level. what would you say to CEOs of firms of your size or smaller on, really that value proposition of why they should be not only members but engaged members with the council?
Well, I think that the only way we can really recognize the true value of any membership is active participation.
Yeah.
So to go ahead and to make our voices heard, to share those perspectives, to get involved both locally, and the member organizations are fantastic.
Yeah.
To get involved nationally about in the different areas that someone might have a passion in the area where they might want to have influence in. And firms of all sizes can be successful, and we literally need everyone.
Yeah.
We need the largest firms, and we need the smallest firms. And when we go through the various issues that come up in the regulatory process, there's different working groups, and it's vitally important that everyone shows up. If I just look at my journey, some of the most valuable information that I've received to help us be a better engineering company is in the context of the Small Firms Coalition.
Yeah.
And the education that has been provided, and that small group of peers, but not necessarily peers in the same location,
Yeah.
but nationally. So you can have a conversation. It's discreet. You're not having it with your competitors.
Exactly.
But you go ahead and learn from people in these best practices, so we can all, become more successful.
You get a national, regional perspective. The coalitions are great because, that's by discipline, right? So you could be in an MEP engineer in Washington, D.C., but you're talking to somebody who might be in Nevada. And you might get a better perspective of business and maybe how things happen or trends. And it's a great way to share information as resources, contracts, and the like, and then education. To your point, is critical.
Well, and the challenges of the day, right? So, those discussions, and when we do these CEO roundtables, and they're by size or whatnot, so you have the small firms perspective, and you have the other three roundtables, where we can all talk about issues that are really germane to our business, the hot topics, and just borrow some ideas that we can make ourselves better and more successful companies. It's really been a fantastic experience.
Absolutely. Well, James, I appreciate you taking the time this morning before we start to come onto the program, and really look forward to working with you over the year to come. A lot of interesting topics that we're going to be covering, a lot of interesting policy areas that we're going to be involved with. So, again, thanks for coming on the program.
Well, thank you for inviting me. It's great to go ahead and have an opportunity to go ahead and chat with you for a minute. I'm really looking forward to these upcoming 2 years. And Gary's going to be an exciting year with Gary Raba as our incoming chair.
Absolutely.
And so now, and again, working with the national staff, you guys are top notch, and
appreciate it.
Continue to learn from you and you all, and to help guide us to go ahead and make the best decisions that we can for our industry. Thank you.
Well, you have an open door anytime you want to come in. So look forward to having you in the office a lot more. And again, this has been Engineering Influence podcast from the American Council of Engineering Companies. And we'll see you again real soon.